welcome to Sparkle and Chill. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm glad to have you. Today we're going to be kitting up my cross, Easter cross from Diamonds on Canvas. This was a small shop that was, as far as I know, it was really maybe a year run. They did. This was a spring palette. She changed the name right after these came out. She was changing the name of her company and she was going to pivot. And just to give you a little background on these kits, it's a square kit. There's only 19 colors and it's 21 by 32. But this, the gal who had this company, she was just getting it to take off and people were really liking the canvases. So, I mean, it's a shame that she had to close down. Look at that, isn't that pretty? Let me move this here so you can see that while I'm talking here. And she was able, let me turn this around. Anyways, she, after I got this, I think she had, this was the spring palette. I think the next one I saw up was the winter palette or the fall palette or something like that. And then she had one more. And then she came on and said that unfortunately she was going to have to close down. And so she only had a few of the palettes left from a couple of her different ones, and as soon as she sold all of those, she was going to be done, at least for now. Who knows, she may come back from what she said, but I'm not sure. Anyways, so I was able to snag this before they were sold out, and it came with a palette of 12 different kits. I've done one, the little Spanish girl that I did a video I think back in July. So if you want to see that video, you can. That was one of my first square drills. In fact, I think it was my first square drill. It was fun and it turned out really cute. So I'm looking forward to this. The drills for the first one were really good. I didn't have any issues really. And yeah, so this is a really cute kit. I wish that it was still available for folks, although the way she was doing things, it was like she had limited releases. She'd like bring something out, sell it out, and then she'd start something new. So it wasn't like she had like the same things coming out all the time. She always had just fresh kits and she sold out the ones that she did. So these are resin. Again, they're squares. I'm going to move this up just a hair so I can move this over. I don't have enough space right here. This one, these come bagged up, and when I did the other one, I did them right in the baggies. And that's fine. It can work, but I thought just for ease of not having to figure out where everything was, I would go ahead and actually kit it up. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and use this big tray in here. I tried to make sure I wasn't rattling any paper, but I failed, huh? I failed because I decided to open this. I'm going to just set this. This comes with quite a few. This comes with a little tweezers and all this stuff. So what I'm going to do, and these look to have some static. We know we have resin drills, don't we? A little bit of static. So I'm going to do it this way so that I can have them in something, but this might take a little longer just due to the static of the drills. They just went all over the place. Darn it anyway. Okay. Well, it is what it is, right? Oh gosh, I'm just making a mess. Even with a tray, they flew out and went on the floor. I just vacuumed under my chair here last night. Well, I didn't. My Roomba did. And when I emptied the bin, there was a bunch of drills in it. It's pretty funny. Like, yeah, I get a lot of them on the floor. Okay, I think I just have to let these ones fall into the tray. So how you guys been doing? I'm on, you probably be tired of hearing it by now, and I'm waiting for puppy day. I'm getting prepared, trying to get my house in order. You know, it's a strange thing when you haven't had a dog for a while, especially a puppy. Like my Sophie didn't get into anything anymore. She was very well behaved, but I'm going to be having to be on my toes. If I remember puppyhood being, and she's not, puppies usually the first 2 years is when they're, you know, they're a little destructive age, and then by age 2 they tend to settle down a bit and behave themselves. I think it was actually 3 for my last dog. I had to crate her till she was 3 when I wasn't home because she was a little stinker. I mean, she was a big stinker. You couldn't leave her alone. She would when she was little, because she would get into things and be naughty, you know. So, anyways. So I am in the midst of job interviews and all of that, and some things look promising. So I may have some news hopefully the next week or so. My hope is I will have a job. My hope is that I get this job that I'm doing all the interviewing for, and that it starts in a couple of weeks, because I kind of want 2 more weeks with the dog. You know, once I get the dog, I want to have a good 2 weeks with her. Oh, these are 310s. No wonder there's 50 million of them, because that is the background of this, is 310s. I'll stick one of these in there. And I don't think, yeah, that's not gonna, actually though, this is the only one that has all of this, so I can literally fill a few of these with this. So what have you guys been doing? I've been, I haven't done a whole lot of diamond painting in the last few days. In fact, I haven't really laid down any drills, which is weird. But I just haven't. I've been working on getting my house in order before a puppy comes, and that's the other good thing about getting a puppy. It's just gonna make me have to be a little bit neater. But there are a lot of these. That's 4 of these, and it didn't. Well, it's a good thing I had extra deals, huh? These are all 310s. Which is number 3. I'm going to have to put number 3 on all of these. Wow. This is crazy, huh? One bag is all of these, but there is a lot of black in it. I just thought this was pretty with like the rainbow colors and everything. So my hope is that I get this job. Then I'm doing the second interview today, and I assume the third one will be sometime next week, or who knows, maybe even Friday this week. But I'm hoping next week, because things are crazy this week. I'm trying to get ready for Friday. Actually, I can't go anywhere because they're doing some maintenance on my apartment, and I kind of have to be here for it. So it would be Thursday or where did my pen go? I had a pen sitting right here. Here it is. I'm just going to say, I'm not going to mark all of these. I'm just going to put a 3 right here. And I know that all of these are the same thing. Okay, now we're ready to go on to number 4. That was a lot of 310s. So I'm hoping that that would be next week, you know, the follow-up interview, or on Thursday, which is tomorrow. That would be best case scenario, either Thursday or Monday this next week. I think there's going to be more than one of these too. You know, I think what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to keep these in here. I'm just going to keep these in here for now. I'm not going to make a million containers. That's what we'll do. We'll just keep them in there, and I'll shove one of these in here to get that. There we go, problem solved. And then I'll just keep them in there. What did I do with their little thing? I'll keep them in this, I guess. For now, we'll do that, but they're labeled. Sorry, I'm not more animated here. My thought process here. So I'm looking forward to doing this. I have decided that these are the 2 kits I'm going to work on, plus I'll do one of the dog breed minis and the butterfly, and then I haven't done March's calendar yet, and I haven't even showed February's. I got the February one done like the 3rd of February, but I haven't even done any of those little kits. I've just been so busy trying to get things done. I've been really procrastinating about getting stuff done here that I've been working on for a while, like my kitchen and all of that. But now I'm it's really good that I'm getting this puppy, because it's got me in puppy mode of getting everything done so that it's done before, you know. So that's been really good. So the next couple days is going to be, I think, a whirlwind of getting things cleaned. I'm going to try to get the floors mopped, which is pretty easy. I have a steamer thing that I got. It's a Pet Symphony by Bissell. It's the best thing I think I ever bought when I had my last dog, because it vacuums and mops at the same time. And I have a small apartment, but it's everywhere but the bedroom is hardwood floors, and they're not real hardwood. It's that, you know, fake stuff, but I love it. I love it because, especially with a dog, if they have an accident, you just mop it up. You know, it's not a big deal. So she's not going to be allowed in the bedroom for a while anyways, because I've got to figure out what I'm doing with, other than at nighttime. She can be in the room with me on the bed. But yeah, what was I going to say? I've got all my big diamond paintings under the bed. I moved them out of the closet a couple months ago when I did some rearranging, and now I'm like, what did I do that for? Now I've got to fix it again. Now I got to go through and do it all over again and redo it, because I'm not going to be able to keep them under there. I think those boxes will be too enticing for a little puppy to want to chew on them. But I did do something great. I took a tote that I had, a bunch of stuff that I just got rid of, and I took that tote and I put it in the corner over here, and I put the kits that are kind of they're kind of the next ones I want to do, and they've been out so that I can decide which one to do when. And I put all of those standing up in the corner here so that they're ready to go. So I'm kind of happy about that, because that gives me the space, and the puppy won't be able to get into them because they're standing up in there and it's too tall. So that just gives me that space. And if I have to do that in a couple places, then I will. But I think it just works where it's at because of the space there. So, so how are you guys doing? What's been going on? I haven't checked. I think I have to check my email. This one's going to be, okay, I'm going to have to keep this one. That one's going to have to wait. So I should put a thing in there. These ones have some static, but it's not bad. These have not been too bad. They're static, but they're not terrible. And I think one little thing like this on these ones where there's just not enough room. 9, which is A. I wish I had more to talk about. I'm just really excited about getting the puppy. She's going to come with everything. Her bed. They had this great kennel that I would have loved to have. I mean, but it's huge. And it was made of wood, and it fit in a corner of a house, and I just don't have a corner for it to sit in. And the only corner that it could have gone in is where I have all my diamond painting stuff, and that wasn't going to work. So I told him that there was no way for me to take it. That, and you know, it just was a big thing. I did find a nice big crate on Craigslist for $20, which was, that's what I wanted. Was when I had my last dogs, I had a medium-sized dog crate, and I always felt guilty leaving even Sophie in there, because they can, you know, it's big enough for them to be in there, but it's hard for them to really move around much. And, you know, especially a puppy, they need to be able to play a little bit in their crate. You know, yes, it's someplace for them to feel safe and go to sleep and all that, but they also need to be able to move around. And so I got the biggest one that's usually on the market, that's in the crates, you know, not the ones that look like a cage, but they are plastic. And so it's in my car still, because I've been waiting to get the apartment done and them to come do the maintenance that they got to do on my apartment on Friday. So I didn't want to bring it in until after that, and then it's going to be great. It will do exactly what it's needed to do. And why am I holding on to these? Let's throw these in here like I would normally do. The only ones I need to hold on to are the extras. Yeah. Oh. So it's been a day. I woke up early and I went to bed late. And it's bad because I have not been able to get to bed before 2 a.m. for the last couple weeks. And so I'm tired. I slept till noon yesterday and the day before, and today I was like, I cannot do that. So I'm like, I don't care how late I stay, I'm up, that I can't sleep. I am going to get up early because this is ridiculous. Because I've worked for the last several years where I start work at 6 a.m. And I think this job, if I get it, is an 8 a.m. start, which is nice. It's not quite as early as having to be there at 6, but it goes till, you know, oops, there's still a few in here. It goes till a little later in the afternoon, which I would rather start at 6 and be done. But it's more of a local situation than where I'd be working East Coast hours on West Coast time. I love East Coast on West Coast but with a puppy, I'll probably be happy that I'm not having to be at work by 6 a.m. Because I'm going to actually have to drive to work. Yeah. And I haven't had to do that in 5 years. I have not had to drive into a job since 2020. All my jobs have been remote. Isn't that crazy? So it'll be an adjustment too. I'm not used to being around anybody. uh, I am not used to being around folks during the day. Oh, those aren't even, those look kind of trashy, so I'm not even going to try to get those out. Well, this isn't as bad as I was thinking it might be. Oh, I did these upside down. Okay. I did those ones upside down. I do that to at least one set every time I do these. I don't know why, but oh, I didn't put a thing in here either. Let's put one of these in there. These do seem to have quite a few of these little bits of plastic that aren't really drills. There's one in there. Okay. So last night I was going to bed and I was getting all the stuff done. You know how you think you're all ready for bed and then you're like, oh, I gotta go do this, and then I was like, oh shoot, I forgot to this. Well, I came out here and I didn't have any shoes on. By the time I got back to my room, I had 3 diamonds stuck to my foot. Who else has that problem? You go barefoot in your house, you're inevitably going to have drills stuck to the bottom of your feet. I think it's funny. But that just seems to be par for the course if you diamond paint a lot. And I even used the little vacuum cleaner last night. I had the Roomba going to clean up under the desk and around. I still have to do an actual real I have to do an actual real vacuum with the deal, but I kind of like to use that every few days. I have the Roomba do a sweep. Keeps the place a little clean without me having to pull out the. These are different. Yeah, there's some static going on here. These are kind of like a pewter black color. They're different. It's F8. Oh, so these must be a special drill. It has an F on it. I'm used to seeing Z's, but this says F, and there's kind of this different sheen to them. But I've never seen a black color like this. I think this is going to be really pretty. Oh, there's still some in there. There's still some in there. So I'm sorry, I'm kind of boring today because I'm kind of tired. I didn't get enough sleep. I woke up too early after going to bed too late because I got up at I woke up at like 7:30. I didn't get up right away. I laid there and I kind of scrolled and watched a little bit of YouTube. And yeah, that's right. I got it in the right one. Okay, we're doing good. This is a great system. I put the drills in this little thing in order and then label these before I get on because I've had it take forever to get these things labeled. And so the other thing is, have you guys noticed some of the prices at the grocery store? It's kind of crazy. I went yesterday to get a few things, and there were certain canned goods that just like literally have doubled in price. Things that used to be $1.90, that used to be $1 or even 99 cents are now $1.99. I went to get refried beans, and I was like, dang, they were $1.89. They used to be 89 cents not that long ago. and they had been inching up, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then I buy the, I like to make, what are they called? Oh gosh, where you cook the refried beans into some tortilla, I'm trying to think of what it's called. Tostada, not a tostada. Just beans in a flour tortilla, but I cook it fry it in a pan so that it's crispy. Now I can't think of what that's called for the life of me, for whatever, but it's usually really cheap, you know. You get about 4 servings out of a can of beans. You can make 4 of them, so it's a good lunch for a few days in a row. And I was like, dang, I can't believe how expensive things are. It's gonna get worse though before it gets better, I have a feeling. Has anybody been watching what's going on in New York with that mayor that they put in? I don't understand how the mayor has as much power as he has. I don't understand that. How can, I don't understand how they have as much power as they do. Because the things that he's doing, you would think that with the people revolting against it, they would put a stop to it. But he seems to have the power to defund the police, and I mean all these things that he's putting in place. I don't like to get political in here, but I just think I'm so happy I live where I'm at, but at the same time it makes you wonder and worry about, you know, if they can do that there, you know, they can do it anywhere. And it's kind of scary if they can just all of a sudden raise your taxes to astronomical amounts that, you know, you can't even afford your own house. But they can do all this stuff. And I can't imagine that the federal government would allow for states to defund their police, would allow for, because that's just what that's going to end up doing is they're going to end up having to send in the guard. What else are they going to do? You can't have no laws. You can't have everybody just doing whatever they please. So they're going to have to do something when everything gets to where it's too crazy for, it's already getting crazy. The malls and stuff are getting looted, and I feel so bad for the people that didn't vote for this. And I don't feel bad for the people who voted for it, because you can't vote in a communist and not expect that they're going to be a communist. But I don't think people really understand what that is all about. I think that's how that type of political thing has gotten in anywhere that it's gotten in. Oh, these ones are upside down too. Oh. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I don't know. I just think about these things, and it's really kind of crazy. We're living in weird times. Really weird times. My grandfather would be going, you know, they fought against these kind of regimes. I mean, that's the thing that's so what people don't understand, the whole our flag, all these people that you know, stomp on our flag and think it's bad. Without that flag, without the people that fought for our freedom, America would not be what it has been. You know, it wouldn't be free. You wouldn't have the ability to even speak out against the government. That's what I think people don't understand. You know, they come here and disrespect that, not understanding that it's the very reason that they're able to come here and live the life that they're living. Anyways, I gotta get off my soapbox because this isn't supposed to be political. I'm just shocked and kind of afraid for the people that are living through that new reality. not too bad. There's static, but it's not too bad. It's been doable. The biggest thing is getting these last ones out, because for whatever reason, I think the static is making them stick to where that label is in there. I'm glad I didn't decide to do these in the baggies, because the static would have been bad to do that with. And we'll put a little one of these in here. One or two. So we'll take one of those out and put it in the next one. All right, final color. I think I'm going to put these just on the tray. Well, guys, I'm almost at the end here. And I'm sorry I've been a little boring and I didn't have a whole lot to say. So if you like this, if you like this video, hit the like button. If you aren't subscribed and you've been watching my videos, it doesn't cost anything to subscribe, and it doesn't mean you have to watch every video. It just means that when you turn on your YouTube, if I've uploaded a different thing, it might suggest that you watch it, but it doesn't mean you have to. But I wish you would. It's been fun, this whole journey of starting a YouTube channel has been quite the eye-opening learning experience. Yeah, it's been quite the learning experience, how things work and all that. Well, again, hit the like, subscribe, share with your friends. If you want to get notifications when a new video gets uploaded, hit the bell. That'll make sure that anytime I upload something, you'll get a notification that I did and be able to click over and watch the videos. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye now.